Okay, we're going to be looking at IXL S9, which is the topic 3 assignment. And in the video, I talked about this being kind of like donut area, where you find the area of the entire donut and then you take away the donut hole, okay? And that would leave you with this pink region. So in this case, if I do that, I always want to think about subtracting my outside figure or my outer figure minus my inside figure, okay? And in this case, that's going to be a big circle minus a small circle. And in the previous topic 1, we talked about how you find the area of a circle. It's just pi times radius squared. Now, because I'm going to be talking about two different radiuses, or radii, I'm going to say my bigger radius, or my radius of my outside circle, is a capital R. And the area of my, or the radius of my little circle or inside circle, we're just going to use a lowercase r. Okay. Now it does tell you in this to use 3.14 as pi, so I'm going to be using that. And if you're using your phone calculator instead of a calculator, because that's all you've got, I'm also going to show you how to expand it so you can type it in easily. Okay. So the first thing we need to know is, what is big R? So the radius has to go all the way to the center. So I don't just have the 24.9, but also the 14.5. So in order to find this big radius value, I need to take 24.9 and add to it 14.5. I don't know why I can't draw 4 today. So 24.9 minus 14.5 is 10.4. I don't know why I'm subtracting it. Let me add it like I said I was going to. 24.9 plus 14.5. Looks like 39.4. And that actually makes sense when you're looking at adding those two numbers. Okay, so that is my radius of my big circle. Okay, now remember that pi times radius squared is really just 3.14, only the version that goes on forever, times whatever the radius is, times whatever the radius is again. Okay, and so when I put my 39.4 in, I'm actually going to be typing in my calculator 39.4, or I guess I could do 3.14 times 39.4 times 39.4 for the area of that outer circle. Okay, so that's this guy. Pi times radius times radius. Then I need to just do the small circle here, right? So my radius of my small circle is just 14.5. So again, I'm going to do 3.14 times my little radius, which is 14.5, times my little radius, which is 14.5. And then I'm just going to type that in the calculator. Okay, when I type it in the calculator, I get 4,874.41 minus 660.185, which leaves me with 4,214.225. I want to be careful here because it tells me to round to the nearest hundredth. So here's my hundredths place, and 5 rounds the 2 up to a 3, right? So when I type this into IXL, I'm going to type this. Okay, not every problem is a circle problem. So this one is a triangle donut. We're still looking for this pink region or this shaded region here. So we need to find the area of this big triangle, the outside triangle. Oh goodness, that was not pretty. Let's try that again. The big triangle minus the inside or the little triangle, okay? And the triangle formula is 1/2 base times height. I'm going to do that same thing where I'm going to use capital letters for the bigger figure, and I'm going to use lowercase letters for the small figure so there's less confusion. Okay. So I need base and height for both of these triangles. So if I think about the big triangle, and maybe you need to turn your head upside down, this is the actual base. If we were going to sit it on the table, we wouldn't sit it on its point. We would sit it here at 31. So my B is going to be, or my uppercase B is going to be 31. And my height then is going to be how tall it were to be if it were sitting on a table. And that would be 36. It as is and type it in as 387. Okay, this next one is a square minus a square, right? So I'm going to do this big outside square minus this little inside square. So our outside square is 35 by 35. So we're going to do, we can do side squared, or we can do length times width, however you want to do it. I'm just going to do length times width. And then 16 times 16, length times width, and I'm going to use those lowercase letters. So we're going to have 35 times 35 minus 16 times 16. Sorry, I know I'm not great here. So 35 times 35, I just typed plus instead of times, 1225. And then 16 times 16 is 256. That's one I happen to know. Again, type twice, confirm, confirm. 35 times 35, yep, 225. So 1225 minus 256 is 969. Again, we've got whole numbers here, so we're going to type the answer just like that. I'll do one more with you here, one where it's not a square minus a square, but rather a rectangle times a rectangle. You may not need this one. You're going to do outside rectangle minus inside rectangle. So your outside rectangle is length times width, and your inside rectangle is also length times width. Oof. So this outside is 31 times 35, and the inside is 21 times 24. So 31 times 35 is 1085. And 21 times 24 is 504. Just double checking those by multiplying twice. And I feel good about my numbers, so now I'm going to do 1085 minus 504, and it's going to give me 581 as my total. Okay, I hope that helps. message if you need additional assistance. Have a great day.